Welcome to Videoland.
Mega high!
Wake up, Kid Icarus.
Welcome to Castle Deep.
It's Congo Land.
Mother Brain will get you, little princess!
Princess, the palace is under siege!
Behold, the ultimate warp zone.
Kevin, I thought I told you to clean up your room. Whoa!
Captain N, the Game Master.
It was a dark day in Videoland. For 7 years, Mother Brain's minions have laid siege on the Palace of Power. We're too strong for them!
Who's too strong for them, King Hippo?
You're too strong for him, Mother Brain!
What's so funny, eggplant wizard?
Who, me? Nothing, Mother Brain. Nothing's funny at all.
That's right. Especially for those poor souls in the Palace of Power. It won't be long before I, beautiful goddess that I am, become queen of Videoland.
As Mother Brain plots the palace's doom, the beautiful Princess Lana is filled with despair.
I'm afraid we can't hold out much longer. Kid Icarus, your loyalty has never diminished.
Just doing my duty, Your Highness.
Mega Man, you fought bravely and well.
A pleasure to serve you, your worship.
Simon, you've been our anchor in a long and terrible storm.
I know.
I thank you all for your efforts. I only wish it didn't have to end this way.
Do not give up hope yet, Princess.
Simon, let go of me.
There are powers beyond those of which you are familiar. The legend of Videoland foretells of a young warrior from another land who shall warp into our world and lead you to victory. He is Captain N, the Game Master. Behold, the ultimate warp zone.
How did we get here? Simon Belmont, Kid Icarus, Mega Man?
And you must be Captain N.
You guys aren't real. You're just so many computer bytes in my game cartridges. Wow, they're real.
Looks like the ultimate warp brought us the ultimate wimp.
I'm Princess Lana.
I'm in love. I'm Kevin. Where am I?
Well, you're in Videoland. The ultimate warp zone brought you here.
You mean like Warp Zone 4 in Super Mario Brothers?
Something like that. The legend foretold of your coming to help restore freedom to our world. That's why it gave you that super power pad and zapper.
Me restore freedom to Videoland? Hey, I don't even have my driver's license yet. And this is just a toy. This can't be happening to me.
Sure is, Copernicus. It's happening to all of us.
If you cannot help us, Mother Brain will conquer all Videoland, and our freedom will be lost forever.
Hey, you got the wrong guy. I'm going home. Come on, Duke.
There, don't worry, Princess. I'll save Videoland. Your cuteness! Wait!
You were our only hope, but you let her down.
You get a low score for this game.
Oh, Father, the legend has failed us. The one it brought is just not strong enough to meet the challenge. I've tried to lead our people since you disappeared, but I failed you.
Isn't that too bad? Their ultimate warp zone has drained the palace's power, giving me a perfect opportunity to strike a fatal blow at the heart of Videoland. I've got a job for you.
Anything you desire, my sweet potato.
Not you, eggplant wizard. King Hippo.
No fair. It's my turn. He got to do your last evil deed.
Let me tell you why. Because you botched up the last job, you incompetent vegetable. King Hippo, go to the palace and punch out their defenses. Then, kidnap the princess and bring her to me.
Don't worry, your disgustingness. I'll be back with that chick before you can give me a 10 count.
And you, go with him, you brainless idiot.
Yes, your sugar meatness. Yes.
Without the princess to lead them, it won't be long before all of those video worlds fall under my control. Then I'll be the beautiful queen of Videoland.
Poor princess. She's very much upset at us.
We must cheer her up.
Don't fret your little mega mind. There's only one person who can cheer up the princess, and I'm looking at him. Let's see. There should be a lift around here somewhere. There it is.
There's gotta be some way out of this crazy world. Come on, Duke. If that princess got us into this mess, maybe she can get us out.
Elsewhere in the palace, Mother Brain's minions arrive in search of the princess.
How do we know which door leads to the princess?
Simple. Simon will lead us to her.
Yoo-hoo, Princess Darling. It's me, Simon Belmont.
Just a minute.
This should warp him out of town for a while. Excuse yourself, you pig.
Okay, Simon, what do you want?
Your Highness? It's me, Kevin. I need to talk to you.
Quick, think of something.
Me? I'm just an incompetent vegetable.
Is everything all right in there?
Yes, everything's just fine, thank you.
Can I come in?
Oh, no, go away. I'm not decent.
You can say that again.
Pipe down.
Something funny's going on, Duke. Princess Lana! Put her down!
Whatever you say.
Whoa!
Hey, get away, mutt. Get off.
Oh, get off of me!
Cut it out! It's me, Kevin!
Kevin, look out!
Wow, this super power pad's too cool.
If you think you're so good, human, try to outrun me!
Anytime you're ready.
Kevin, help!
All right, that's it. You guys are toast. Lana! Oh no, she's gone. princess! Come on, Duke! Kid Icarus, Mega Man, we've got to find the princess!
Don't worry, it's Maximus. She's safe with Simon.
Simon, the princess has been kidnapped. If we don't find her, I may never be able to get back home.
We'll start searching immediately.
Not so fast. As the highest-ranking officer of Her Highness's court, not to mention her dearest friend, I shall give the orders. Mega Man, shine my boots. Kid Icarus, I could use a little trim. Not too much off the top, however.
How's this for a shine?
Whoa! What do you think you're doing?
You
I'm
made
fed
a
up with this.
Simon.
I deserve some respect.
You made it.
Hit the pause, guys! No wonder Videoland's losing the war. These guys are just fighting themselves. We've got to rescue the princess. Simon, get me a map of Videoland.
Simon Belmont takes orders from only one person. Simon Belmont. I'll lead us to the fair princess, but first I'll need a map. Whoever abducted the princess is obviously taking her back to Mother Brain on Metroid. There's a warp zone right here that'll take us directly to her.
No, it won't.
I beg your pardon?
Look, I've played this game 100 times. This is the warp to Metroid.
Wrong, Warp Brain. It's this one.
No way!
Tell you what, I'll flip you for it. Heads we go my way, tails we go yours. Heads, you lose.
Hey, look, Duke.
This is it, the express warp to Metroid.
There's no time to lose, Icarus.
I know, Duke, but we've got no choice.
This isn't Metroid.
It's Congo Land.
Congo Land? But that's the home of Donkey Kong!
My arrows will stop that Apicus Maximus.
Wait! We've got to get Kid Icarus!
That'll be a snap. That wasn't the kind of snap I had in mind! Phew. That wasn't so bad. Yes, it was. Well, he'll think twice before tangling with me again.
Help us!
I hope this thing works. Jump!
Hey, thanks, Gavinicus. You're a pretty good game master after all.
Thank me later. We've got to warp out of here before Donkey Kong gives us the big game over. Get in, quick! wait! The zone's closed up!
And that beast is closing in!
There's the way off this world!
You won't get away with this, Mother Brain. My warriors will rescue me.
Of course, my little princess. Just like they rescued your papa. Now that you're both out of the way, Videoland will soon be mine!
You'll pay for this, Mother Brain.
This is crazy! We're headed straight into a double dead end! Dead if we jump into the volcano, and dead if we don't!
Look, I've played Donkey Kong enough times to know what I'm doing. Trust me.
Simon was right. My sensors detect no warp zones in this area.
Get down!
Trust me, he says. Ha! I'd sooner trust a vampire to give me a shave.
Quick! Closer to the edge of the volcano!
Are you nuts?
I know what I'm doing. Trust me.
I trust you, Gavinicus. If Kid Icarus trusts you, I trust you.
Come on, Simon!
Oh no, not me. I'm staying right here.
Pause! Quick! Get on the boulders! The pause won't last that long! Simon, hurry!
Ah! Wait for me!
Hey guys, this is where we get off. Pause!
Whoa! Ah! Ah!
That was a real cool move, Gavinicus. I agree.
Thanks!
Don't thank me yet. I've still got to rescue the princess.
Speaking of Her Highness, look!
Just like in the fairy tales, the handsome hero will rescue the fair princess from the impenetrable tower.
Simon, we've got to do this as a team, remember?
Ah, a team, of course. Sorry, Captain Nuisance, but no one shall come between Princess Lana and her loving Simon Belmont. This warp zone will take me straight into her arms.
Mega Man, give me a hand. That looks like an opening. Princess!
I thought you didn't want to have anything to do with Videoland.
I'm sorry I didn't take you seriously before. I couldn't believe that this was real.
Well, it is I who should apologize to you.
Don't worry about it, Princess. Huh?
We're locked in.
So this is what the Ultimate Warp Zone has sent to defeat me, huh? We'll see just how good you are when you try to survive the corridors of Metroid.
problem? Huh? Oh, I'm out of power!
And you're out of time, too. One human alone could never beat me.
Maybe not alone, Mother Brain, but we can defeat you as a team.
Oh! Get them!
What you gonna do now, dude?
I'm not going to do anything, but my whip is going to whoop you.
Ah!
Hey,
Look out! Get away from us!
Oh, brother! I'll deal with you myself!
Quick, into the warp zone! It's too dangerous to finish her off.
You may have stuck me this time, but next time I'll be stronger than ever.
So will we, Mother Brain. So will we.
Later, at the Palace of Power,
The legend may have been right about you after all, Captain N.
Yeah, well, I was just lucky, I guess.
Personally, I wasn't lucky at all. No, it was skill and razor-sharp timing that allowed me to rescue you and save Videoland from that evil...
Thank you, Simon. We're indebted to you. And to the rest of you as well. You too, Duke. And as for you, you may have helped me win the battle, but the war is far from over. You will stay and help defend Videoland, won't you?
Sorry, Your Highness, but I've got to get back to my world.
Yes, well, it was very nice of you to drop by. Do come back and visit us soon in, say, 20 years.
Kevin, you better not be playing that foolish game. You have homework to do. And don't forget to take out the trash.
On second thought, I guess I could stay just a little while longer. Let's face it, I'm hooked.
Kevin, I thought I told you to clean up your room. Whoa!
Captain N, the Game Master.